Jamie called me up because she's playing slots and she hit a bonus. And I dropped my nuts and ran. Which you should do when your wife calls you at any point in time. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Look what I got, finally. Supposed to come Wednesday, and then it was delayed, then supposed to come Thursday, and then it was delayed, and now it is Friday, and it has finally arrived. So, let's dig inside and see what we got. Oh, for starters, I had a little bit of a rough ride. So, if there's anything smashed in there, I guess I've got it well documented. You know? So, it took a bit of a beating, but what's the best way to get into this guy? Just tear it? Here, I've got my knife. I don't want to cut into anything, but maybe that'll help. It's like Christmas on New Year's. By the way, Happy New Year's, you shenaniganders. It's going to be 2022 in a few hours. I think it's about 5 o'clock now. Which leaves me a couple hours to finish off South Park, hopefully, before we party like it's 1980. That's totally not true. We're just totally chilling tonight. Very, very boring. But it's COVID-y, and yeah, we're just being cautious about it to a certain extent. The neighbors might pop over, as they typically do. Jay the neighbor on the left side, and Lauren the neighbor on the right side, depending on which way you're facing. Anyway, for starters, did I tell you that I ended up saying screw it and I just got a new speaker grill? You know why I did that? Well, A, because I was placing an order, and B, because I didn't bother using any of Kevin's stuff that he so graciously offered me. Mainly because it wasn't a plug-and-play fit like this should be. This is the exact speaker that I need and should just pop right on there. No fitment involved. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Not as sweet as the friggin' super duper sound package Kevin put on his Addams Family, but it'll be better than a torn up piece of... Where's my torn up? Here, there's my torn up piece of crap. It'll be better than that, don't you think? I think so. This is pretty much garbage. It works, but I wonder what the sound difference will be between that torn one and the good one. Maybe not much. I imagine it's got to have some bearing on the overall quality. Okay, this is 2 clear plastics for Kevin's Addams Family. You can't even see them, but like where they ended up being located. But still, they're crappy, and they'll get improved. So that's Kevin's pile. How come I feel like there should be a lot more crap in here than judging by the cost of everything? This I'm excited about. Yeah, cabinet protectors for South Park. That's going to look so much better than those little, what was it, Mylar covers. They just, yeah. These are heavy duty, like, they're metal. No messing around. No wonder those were expensive. Okay, let's make my pile over here. It's like Halloween when we're kids, sorting out all our candy. Okay. 2 of Kevin's Addams Family coils were actually incorrect, so those go into his pile. These are links for slingshots and various mechs. That's Kevin's pile. He had one broken, actually, with his right slingshot. These are also for Addams Family. Oh yeah, these are the 1 1/8 inch white. Do they have the spring inside? Yep, we got the spring inside. I like the spring inside. Nice little, yeah, it just feels better when you're flipping, when you got the spring action. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, look at this. Mr. Hankey. Maybe, just maybe, he will finally work. This looks really a lot different than the one that's in there. I think the one that's in there might be broken, but you would think that less coils would make it easier for him to latch. I guess we'll find out. My pile. These are other option for plunger and links for slingshots. Kevin got both, so his pile. This is for a project that you have not seen yet. Well, I'm just going to leave you in suspense. I might have mentioned it in another episode, but these are the two pop bumper lamp sockets that I gave Kevin that ended up not really working until he cleaned them, but he was replacing them for me, so cool. I wasn't expecting that. That's cool. Oh, look at this. Since I've been playing South Park, I have noticed where the ball gets trapped in Kenny, in the Kenny zone. Come on, focus. What is wrong with you? So, Kenny trap springs. Hopefully that's not too much of a pain to install now that I got them all back together. I'll show you how that works, if you don't already know. These are just your typical springs used in a lot of Williams games. I happen to have one, and Kevin needed one, so I gave him mine for his Adams, and we just got a couple each just to have in stock. They are part number 10-389, if you wanted to know, and they were like 79 cents each, so good thing to have in stock. Very cheap, but they break. I had one break on my Attack from Mars, but they're used in a lot of Williams mechs especially, so split those up. These, as you know, are for, are they the right size? They're not the right size. Oh, that's sad. I don't think they're gonna fit. I think I'm gonna just say screw it and print my own then, or something, or maybe see if Henry can lend a brother a hand. He is getting good at that kind of thing. If he wasn't already. I mean, it just never ceases to amaze me with the, like, the Addams Family reproduction, like, serial number label. That was awesome. This black circle. Do you know what that is? Yeah, well, if you don't, I'll just show you later. And what else do I got? Oh, okay. These are rollover inserts, housings. So that's going to be used for Kevin's Big Indian, or Duchess project, I should say. I don't know how he's planning on removing the old inserts. Maybe just the heat gun and popping them out. Kevin, if you, or Dutch, if you meant to order just the rollover switches themselves and not the whole housings, let me know, because I got the rollover switches. But if you're changing the whole inserts, that's a bit more of a monumental task. Hopefully a heat gun will help you out on that, but they do look pretty. Okay, that's it for that. Oh, also, Kevin, for your pile, we didn't tell the shenaniganders, and they probably didn't even notice that the thing lights on the back panel on your Addams Family, they were still incandescent. We didn't tell you. But now they will be LED'd. And also, this bendy flasher will look awesome for your the power insert, since the kit that you got, they gave them like one of the style of LEDs that just points in one direction, and it kind of misses the whole insert altogether. This bendy will be much better for the job, so that's your pile. And let's add the speaker back to my pile and the grill. And one other thing I got in the mail too, just as a side note, from Dave at Alltech. Thank you very much, Dave. He was very helpful. So if you remember on Harlem, I was updating this Altec CPU, and it was causing some interesting problems, like the solenoids were going off like snap, crackle, and pop. After I upgraded it, I had to add in this capacitor, add in this jumper. This jumper was required in order to add the NVRAM. Then the software was updated to version 9. And Dave said he updated it even further, so look at this. Got the latest and greatest 9.2. So, turns out, oh, where did it go? Apparently the issue that I was having was one I caused myself as usual. The NVRAM I installed right there was the issue. Apparently this NVRAM, I think maybe my board guy made it and just hadn't tested it in Altec CPUs yet, so this guy should be good to go now. I'll have to test it in Harlem. This is the original Harlem CPU, but now it's all updated and upgraded, and it'll probably just go back in there and stay in there, but either way, it doesn't matter. They're both great boards. Okay, so that is all for now. Now what I'm going to do is bag up Kevin's stuff and install my stuff, so I can finally probably finish South Park tonight. So let's get at it. Alright, first things first. That's sad that this is probably not going to work. Let's compare the size. Oh, actually, I think it is going to work, but this style here, I think it's just more like old school style. But I guess it's better than nothing. I don't love them, but yeah, alright, I'll think about that. Moving on to the next thing. Alright, now do you know what that's for? The one on the near side is intact and happy, but the one on the other side was kind of just half hanging, so I pulled it off and just said, oh, I'd rather have it off than kind of just half hanging on there. That looks dumb. And then never even knew that replacement existed. Of course it exists, but I only noticed that when I was shopping through the South Park parts at Marco. You can actually see, if you look closely, whoever installed the first one wasn't quite centered on the money. Hopefully I'll be a little more centered, but let's see. Oh, now I actually have to go over the old spot to cover the adhesive. So boom. That was the easiest thing. The rest is going to be much more difficult. One thing done. Speaker grill time. Here's the old one. Very bent and broken in half. Here's a new one. Slightly different size holes, but that don't matter. Sound will travel through them. Sound will travel through them. And stick grill in place. And mark holes and drill. Alright, let's see how this goes. So far so good. Going with about a 1/4 inch so I have a little bit of play back and forth, because I may need it. That went right through there. That's the Canadian accent. Boom. Okay, let's see if this thing actually fits. Probably not. Oh, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Okay, I just gotta revise one hole and then I'll be back. Alright, here we go. Boom. Not bad at all. Now for the real test, does this speaker actually fit? Oh yeah, sweet. Now I just got to solder a couple wires. All right, do you really want to watch me solder? Might as well. Just rough up the action there a little bit. That's my strategy. Okay, prime up the lugs. Lots of SATA. I also remembered to put my ground strap back in place there. See that? That I didn't have in the proper spot when I first dry fit the speaker. And you can see, hopefully you're not just staring at my head. You can see I've started putting on my nuts. So, 2 solders and 4 nuts away from this mission being accomplished. And then, what are we going to move on to next? You know, maybe Hankey, because playfield is up. I'm pretty sure it was the yellow white wire that is on the top. I made a mental note of that when I removed these wires. I don't know if it makes a difference. Maybe it does. But I'm pretty confident in my memory for once in my life that it is the correct order of the speaker wires. I'll be right back. And then, even more exhilarating, you can watch me screw. Hey, I'm missing my nuts. I only put on 2. I did notice the speaker is practically touching the wood there. Where did I put my other? Jamie called me up because she's playing slots and she hit a bonus. And I dropped my nuts and ran. Which you should do when your wife calls you at any point in time. Drop your nuts and go. Oh, okay, there we go. But yeah, the speaker is touching this wood. So I don't think that's going to be an issue in terms of trying to like screw this all the way down. I mean, I will, but if I feel any resistance, I won't go crazy because it's not like the speaker is going to come flying off at any point. It just needs to be snug. Doesn't need to be cranked on there. Maybe it was like super subwoofer with major bass. It would have to be pretty snug so it doesn't vibrate itself loose, but there we go. Boom. All right, just dry fitting this on here, and I think it's gonna look awesome. This does overlap the side rail here, so I may tuck it underneath, loosen this bolt, and then yeah, I'll check that out, but that's what I'm gonna do now. All right, I decided to try and nick off the little piece there that overlaps, because once you get the lock bar into the equation, it makes for a very tight fit. So I'm gonna try and Dremel wheel this off. This could go horribly wrong, so I'm recording. Wish me luck. Safety goggles. That is not working worth a crap, so maybe my blade is dull. Okay, back to the drawing board. Decided to go the old school method. It should work. Not quite quite all that clean, but it'll work. How is that even staying on there? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to take that piece off, file it nice and smooth, touch up a little bit of silver with black, and Bob will be your uncle. Alright. I think I got it all filed, all happy. Nice and smooth. So you can see a little bit of silver now, but nothing my touch-up paint can't resolve. Alright, can you see that? It's hard to focus on black, but silver's gone. Although it's probably pretty much unnecessary. Nobody's gonna ever see that. But maybe it'll fit now. Hopefully I cut enough off. Well, what do you know? Check it out. It fits perfect. And if you noticed, I marked the holes. Now I'm going to drill them. Maybe I'll time-lapse this. We'll see. Hey, oh, I was going to say, can't see my third hole, but there it is. Alright, let's have a closer look at this. Yeah, look at that. I tried to go right around the flipper button as close to the center as possible. I tried to line up this edge nicely. That edge turned out well. And all in all, yeah, looks awesome. Now, rinse and repeat on the other side. Alright, look how nasty that corner is. Uh-oh. Oh, let's make that look a little prettier. I'm just gonna hand bomb it this time. Possibly. Yep, my hacksaw job worked again. My hack job. This is pinball shenanigans, after all. Hey, where's my holes? Just remember, when you're watching pinball shenanigans, don't expect any professionalism. I like to hack my way through things until I'm satisfied. Okay, I'm going to... Actually, I didn't drill all the way through because I wanted to make sure the screws had some good bite, right? So I just drilled in about 1/4 inch. And that's about where it's getting a little bit pointless to hand bomb. Hey, I don't think I told you guys yet. You weren't here for that. Whoa. I changed the flipper buttons. I was gonna go blue, which I thought would have been really cool, but I had red in stock and I was impatient. I was running out of things to do, so I just wanted to do it. So brand spanking new flipper buttons with the new protectors, a little bit of shenanigan modification, but now the lock bar should fit perfectly, and it looks so much better now. Love it. This is the next problem I'm going to resolve. See the ball right there? Yeah, it's a thing. Same with the other side. So that's what these Kenny trap springs are for. So I just slip them under here and under here under the plastic. It hopefully isn't too much of a pain in the butt. And then I think they go under his arms. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've seen the placement of where these go in theory, But I don't know. Oh, Jamie got another bonus. I gotta run up and see how much money she won. She just won $118 on the last bonus. I'll be back. All right, let's watch the bonus for fun. Oh yeah, look at that, good timing. Big win. Let's throw off the flash. It's New Year's Eve, people. Happy New Year's. Is Jamie gonna say Happy New Year's? Are they gonna hear your voice for maybe the first? No, they've heard your voice. Just watch the Lord of the Dust.
Oh, that's smoke.
Lord of the Smoke.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so we need more Goldilocks. We need 3 more Goldilocks, but we only have 1 spin left. Okay, 3 more Goldilocks.
No.
All right, well, $14 bonus. Okay, so anyway, I thought that these trap springs are supposed to go underneath. You know what? I'm starting to think that maybe over top like this is actually correct. It just looks like it's more happy there. Over on this side, it's like bent under his arm. You see that? So maybe over top kind of makes more sense to me in hindsight. And then maybe they have less chance of getting broken. So this is the nook right here where the ball likes to get caught, but it cannot get caught there now. It can get technically caught right there. Oh, but it would have to be pretty lucky. And Kenny moves just a little bit and then he's gone. And then the ball was getting caught right in there. It would stick right there occasionally. Did I see it stick there? I don't even know if I ever saw it stick on that side, come to think of it. But it physically cannot stick on that side now. I almost do want to move this wire kind of over top of the plastic now, over top of his arm. I may just do that because I think I just like the way it sits better, because it's like bent right now and it's under tension, and I feel like Kenny's just gonna break it, little bugger. On this side, I think it'll be fine. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna raise that one up on the top side of the plastic, and then I'll be done with Kenny trap springs. Okay, so you can see I put this spring on top. It's on top of Kenny's arm. He is kind of bumping into it. These things probably just gonna break, but right now you can see the ball. I don't know. If it does get trapped up there, then it should be much easier to dislodge it on both sides. So gameplay will tell, but they may not last that long. I think the right one is more likely to break because it's getting bashed a little more. Left side might be okay. Anyway, time will tell, but they're installed. All right, South Park has gone to sleep for the night in this little blankie. Actually, I got that from Mitch Ayers like a couple of years ago, and yep, I'm still using it for various different things. I think he gave it to me because it was like in between a head and a body and a machine that was packed up. So the last couple things: Hankey spring, quarter inserts. Anything else? Hankey spring, speaker. Oh, test out the speakers. Here's my Mr. Hankey mech screws. I'm going to come back tomorrow to finish off this video, and then we will check out the action. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here's some bonus footage. Which cow do you guys want? Hey, I thought I turned that off. There we go.
What cow?
Well, we haven't picked yellow yet, so let's go yellow. Now the cow's gonna go diving into a little pool. He's got to do a really good dive. The better the dive, the better the money. We're just betting 20 cents. We're not high rollers.
30.
30 cents.
Oh,
That's a bad dive. Oh, hopefully this music on the slots isn't gonna give me any YouTube strikes. Probably not. It's probably not licensed. Could be. I'll just turn it down a little bit. Don't listen closely, YouTube. We can re-trigger.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Come on. Oh my, yeah.
And then do we get to pick again?
Oh, that would have been cool.
Help us out.
All right, last spin. Whoa, that was not a good bonus. And what was that? 70 cents was in the dive, so we won, what, 40 cents? Yay!
Like that.
All right, South Park. Time to wake up. Did you have a good New Year's? Rise and shine. All right, I'm back down in the basement. Time to do the last couple things. Mr. Hankey spring is the priority. These decals are secondary. I don't know, I may not even install them. Those particular ones, don't know that I love them. And yeah, that should wrap up the video for tonight. So let's tear into Mr. Hankey. All right, welcome back, Mr. Hankey. Oh yeah, so this spring here, I don't know if you saw, but I found that in the cabinet one day, and that was after installing this guy. So now that I have them all apart again, this is just from a flipper mech. I had installed that. It was working fine, but this one that I found in the cabinet, I am assuming is what was supposed to be there. But when I first took them apart, it was not there at all. So I'm going to stick that spring back where I think it belongs. And then the interesting thing here is looking at the Mr. Hankey spring. I mean, this thing is like yay big and is missing probably a good 3 turns. So it looks like it could maybe be original, just broken. It's hard to tell, but I'm a little concerned that adding all the extra rings here is going to make him even harder to go down. So this is very counterintuitive. The only way to really know is to just install it, because apparently it's a Mr. Hankey spring, and see what happens. So that's really the only thing I can do at this point. So I'll swap them out. All right, that's what we're looking at here. So technically this was oriented this way, I believe. That was at the kind of bottom of the mech, like here. And this is sort of the part that I kind of bent just to see if that would help originally. So I'm assuming this is going to be the bottom. This is going to be the top. The slim end goes up here. That would just make sense to me. So, do you think this is the original spring? I mean, it's pretty darn close. So it's hard to know for sure. But I guess I'll just pop it in there and see what happens. Okay, so the new spring is installed, but it's so counterintuitive. I just cannot see how this is going to work. Like, it's so much harder now for this coil to pull Mr. Hankey down. And then he springs up in a friggin' violent fashion. Like, there's a warning in the manual about this. You can lose your friggin' finger if you're not careful. Like, that's pretty violent. So imagine this spring, if it was original, just broke over time. But like I said, oh man, it's just so violent. That's gonna just, you would think that would smash itself into bits over time, but I guess we'll stick it in and see what happens. Alright, I thought I could test this mech prior to installing it, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, gotta kind of hold it into its natural vertical position, but try not to kill myself doing this. Alright, so if I hit the start button right now, that latch coil here should fire. Okay, no problem. Now I gotta go to the more violent test. Okay, hold on. Mr. Hankey down. Okay, this is gonna be sketchy. Alright. 3, 2, 1. So of course it wouldn't latch, because it's a friggin' strong ass spring. So I was right. It didn't work. So I'm not sure. I might cut the spring shorter take it apart, put it back together again. I'll figure it out, but I like being able to test it in the cabinet rather than having to put it all back together again. I think I should be able to figure this out with a few iterations. Okay, so, well, I removed the Hankey spring and put the original one that was in there back in. I cut off one rung, stretched it out a little bit, and I have higher hopes for that than I did with this. So let's pop it in and see. All right, Hankey test take 2. Can you see that? All right, hitting the start button to run the solenoid Hankey down test. Let's see, Hankey down. Boom. Now let's go back. I'll just unlatch them myself. Hankey down, boy. Oh shit. Actually, if you just kind of... Oh, okay, that one worked. That one worked. I was going to say, maybe if you hold the start button down. Oh. He did. Okay. He like just kind of like... just kind of pulses, but... Oh, so now he won't latch? What the F? What's your problem? Why is that happening? That makes no sense. Turn him upside down. It worked. Needed a little gravity help there. That... What? Is it because this spring is kind of not in a good spot? No? Let's try that again. So weird. Why? Yeah, that spring is kind of getting caught up in and around. See that? Right here. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but okay, let me mess with this for a bit and I'll be back. Solenoid might be getting a little warm, no? Okay, I'll be back. Alright, unfortunately I'm going to have to leave you hanging because Mr. Hankey just ain't cooperating. I'm not sure what the issue is. It does appear as though he wants to be up higher so that he has that extra bit of gravity and throw to latch. But if you have the spring extended that far out, it adds more resistance. I mean, maybe lying down and all the way extended, he'll latch. Yeah, as suspected. But once he's, you know, in the resting position there, you just ain't gonna do it. So the new spring didn't work, the old spring didn't work, manipulating the old spring, cutting the old spring, bending it, nothing's working. Oh, the tilt bob is actually closed. Switch is closed there. That could have been a problem. Just try and play a game. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do on this guy yet. But that'll have to be for another episode, unfortunately. So there, I guess, will be one more video in this series, and hopefully that's it, because that's Hankey is all that's left, and hopefully I can resolve him sooner than later. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.